Kid Craddock in the morning.
The Showbiz Top 5.
It's Kelly Raspberry with your Showbiz Top 5 for Friday, the first day of October. Now, we do love us some gossip, but we have to realize not all of it's true. That's why it's called gossip, but some of it is. And this media group decided to do a little research, and they checked out the 5 leading gossip magazines. Interesting to note, National Enquirer wasn't among them. But they said the most accurate is Us Weekly, and they still got it right a lot more often than not. 35% of their cover stories turn out to be true. They did a lot better on their unconfirmed stories. It turns out 59% of Us Weekly's unconfirmed stories later turned out to be the real deal. Coming in second, Life and Style magazine, 25% cover accuracy, 34% overall accuracy. I won't go through the accuracy numbers anymore because that's hard for me to say for some reason this morning. But third place went to In Touch, and the worst tied for fourth place because they did 5, OK and Star magazines. Now, the judge in their child custody case has awarded Oksana Grigorieva, another word I have trouble saying this morning, more child support. Mel Gibson had been paying $5,000 a month, but he has had to quadruple that to $20,000 a month child support, which, you know, I guess he's breathing a little sigh of relief because Oksana was asking for $60 grand. Now, if you're a fan of the show Juliana and Bill, it's been on hiatus, but it's coming back on October 11th. You know, last season she was struggling to get pregnant, put on a little weight to try to help that process. Well, she went through in vitro, and first time out, she was so happy to announce she was pregnant. I've been there, done that. You know, they have that, you know, old wives' tale. The superstition is you're not supposed to say anything until after your first trimester because something tragic could happen. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to Juliana. She lost the baby at 9 weeks and says she went through every emotion you can imagine, being angry at life, angry at God, swearing she could never go through this again. Well, she and Bill have decided to share that during their reality show because they know so many people go through this very same thing, and they want people to realize there's no shame in it, and hopefully their story can help others get through what is a very difficult experience. And 4 years later, I have my Emma Kelly, but I remember the drama that went behind that. Now, what is it like, switching gears completely, to spend the night with the situation? Well, hopefully you'll never have to find out, but if you're curious just the least little bit and you never end up invited to the smush room, this one woman down in Florida, when they were there filming Jersey Shore in Miami, her name, let me just give it to you because she's not ashamed, Melody Eckerson. She says she got invited back to the smush room for a little smushing with the situation and said she couldn't even call it a one-night stand because it didn't really last but a few minutes. The rest of the gory details can be found in Star Magazine. But do remember, Star Magazine came in last place. Worst overall accuracy, only 12%. All right, and we've learned Lindsay Lohan's being treated at the Betty Ford Center, and we know a little bit about what life's like behind those walls because Radar Online spoke to a previous patient from Betty Ford. He said it's very regimented. You know, they get up at 7 a.m., they have group meetings, they have one-on-one sessions, mandatory meditation, chores that have to be performed based on your attitude. So hopefully she's had a good one and she doesn't have to scrub toilets or anything gross like that. Also, she's not allowed family, friends, no visits for the first 3 weeks of treatment. Only allowed to use the phone on Sundays after that. Lots of little interesting things, and you can read that in the Showbiz Top 5. And also, let's see, an interesting thing I did note, she's not allowed to have any caffeine when she's in treatment, but she is allowed to smoke. I don't understand the rationale in that, but that's what life's like at Betty Ford, and hopefully you'll never have to find out what that's like either. And that's your Showbiz Top 5.
Check out more blogs, pics, videos, and celebrity gossip, all at kidlive.com.